Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Jer-Lindy Virtual Chat. I am Brittany with the Adopt a Cow program, and we are so excited that you're joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Paige and, of course, our adorable adopted calves, Alexa, Alljoy, and Caroline. Today's chat wouldn't be possible without the generous support of Midwest Dairy Association and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you to both those organizations for making today possible. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. And for anyone that is new to Discover Dairy and the Adopt a Cow program, it is a free online resource that covers Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while talking about dairy. These lessons and resources can be found at discoverdairy.com. And again, they are completely free for anyone to use. So we welcome you to do that. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year. So if you're interested in joining again, or maybe you're new to the program this year and want to join the fund, registration will open on May 1st. And if you'd like to receive a notification when registration opens up, you can go ahead to discoverdairy.com/adopt. And at that website, you can fill out a very short form that will get you a notification email on May 1st, letting you know when registration opens up so you can join the fund again next year. And we'll drop that link in the chat for you over here. So discoverdairy.com/adopt. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you can clearly see that that chat feature is enabled. We can see many of you have been using it and saying hello. Please feel free to continue using that chat feature to comment and, of course, ask questions. That's why we're here today, to talk with Farmer Paige. So please feel free to use that. Just keep in mind, make sure these questions and comments are related to this chat and that they're school appropriate. All right, and then so let's go ahead and check out to see who's joining us today. So we have Mr. Hemsing's class in East Grand Forks. We have Mrs. Albin's class in, I had training on how to say this. Modem, oh man, I forget. Farmer Paige, how is it said again?
Matamidai.
Matamidai. Thank you. Matamidai. I apologize. I knew I was going to butcher it. We've got Mrs. McGraw's class in Worthington. How about a couple further down, Mrs. Gubrid's class in Nisswa. And they say moo to everyone. We say moo back. How about Miss Mayer's first graders? We've got Lighthouse Learning Homeschool in Morris. Welcome, everybody. We also have, looks like we've got some folks from St. Paul Park. And we also have, how about Mrs. Franson's second grade class from South St. Paul. Awesome. We have many, many more that have joined us and said on the chat here that they're here with us today. So thank you so much. Looks like the last one was from Austin, Minnesota. We've got a kindergarten class. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are excited to have you. You see there that chat feature is. So please feel free to go ahead and use that, comment, ask questions. We look forward to getting them. And I know Farmer Paige is excited to answer them. So with that, I am very pleased to introduce you to Farmer Paige in Brooten, Minnesota. Hey, Farmer Paige, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We are doing well, and we're excited to be with you today. So go ahead and take it away and give us tell us a little bit about your farm.
Well, you're here on a very snowy day, unfortunately, for April, but so we have 200 milking cows. We mostly have Holsteins. So Holsteins are the black and white cows that everyone knows. We also have a few red and white Holsteins. So instead of black spots, they have the red spots. And then we also have about 12 brown Swiss cows. Brown Swiss are all brown and they have big fuzzy ears. And so we have those for fun as well. So we milk about 200 cows. We milk twice a day. At 5 a.m. and 4 p.m. We have about 200 acres of land that we grow all the feed for our cows, so we don't have to buy any feed for them. And then we also actually have our own cheese factory right here on the farm. We take 10% of our milk and we make that into cheese right on the farm. We make about 2,000 pounds of cheese a week. And then the rest of the cheese we sell to Bongards. So if you're in Minnesota, you know Bongards. They also make our milk into cheese. So we like to say they're the second best cheesemaker in Minnesota.
I love it. So you guys make some delicious cheese, which I'm curious if anyone on here has tried any of your cheese. So if you have ventured out to them and gotten any of their cheese, go ahead and let us know in that chat feature, because I wish I lived out towards you and could get myself some of your cheese. It makes me really hungry for it. But thank you for that intro. And these girls look like they're giving each other a kiss right there. They're really loving each other right now. So we had, if you don't mind just letting us know, do you know when the farm was established or anything like that? We had someone that was asking about establishment and things like that.
Jerry and Linda, the farm owners, they started farming here in 1970. They moved here. They were farming prior to that in other places, but on the farm, they moved here in the 70s.
Gotcha. In the 70s. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So we've really loved, I know a lot of people have enjoyed getting to learn about your farm and, and everything that they do, and milking cows and taking care of them and creating cheese. But of course, the ultimate reason that we are here is to see our girls. Even though we love you, Farmer Paige, we definitely are really excited to see our girls. So if you don't mind giving us an intro on each one of them, tell us a little bit about each one and how they're doing.
So right here, this is Alljoy, for whoever got to adopt Alljoy. She was born on September 22nd. And actually they each have a tag in their ear. And so you might be able to see her birthday on her tag. Alljoy is quite the little calf. She's a very nice looking calf. And so one of our 4-H kids is actually going to take her to the fair this year. Pretty stubborn. Her mom's name is Allspice, and Allspice is one of the best cows that we have in our herd. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
And this one here is Caroline. She was born on September 20th. Caroline was very camera shy the entire time. I had really hard time getting pictures of her because she always wanted to run away. She looks a little camera shy right now. But Caroline is out of a cow named Corey. And Corey's a pretty nice cow. She's one of our friendly ones. And then the last one is Alexa. Alexa is out of a cow named Alexis. Alexa was born on September 28th. And Alexa's probably the friendliest out of all three of the calves that we had this year. She always wanted me to come scratch her ears, and she was looking for attention. But yeah, they're all about 5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall now. You can see they live in this big barn now, that are all about the same age. And then they're starting to eat what's called TMR, or a total mixed ration. So there's a bunch of different ingredients in there, like corn, hay, protein, vitamins, minerals, all kinds of good stuff to help these girls grow quite a bit.
My goodness. Yeah, they look like they're chowing down on their lunch right now and really enjoying it. And their barn looks nice and cozy. Thank you for that update on them. I know we have a lot of love of people saying, "Yay, Caroline!" and they were just excited to see their calf, which is a lot of fun. So thank you for giving us an update on each one of them. Do you mind talking a little bit about what their next 6 months would look like? So once they leave this barn, where do they go next?
So after this barn, they'll leave here within a year, and they'll be ready to have a baby almost at that point. And they'll move up to the next barn where all of our cows are that are within 2 months of having the calf. They go hang out there. They kind of just eat, sleep, really do cow stuff, working on growing that baby calf. And then once they have their calf, they get to join the rest of our cows out in the milking herd. But for the next 6 months or so, they'll just be hanging out in here, working on growing. They're still pretty little yet. They'll grow probably about twice the size in the next 6 months or so.
Wow. So it's about twice the size they are now. How big will they be when they're a full grown cow? Any idea what the average size is for a full grown
Yes.
cow?
A full grown cow can weigh about 1 ton, 2,000 pounds.
Ooh.
Yeah, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 pounds.
You do not want to get in the way of her. Oh, it looks like we've got one of our brown Swiss coming front.
Yeah, this is one of the brown Swiss. You can see she's got big fuzzy ears. Our brown Swiss are very, very friendly and kind of the attention hogs on the farm, as you can tell.
They know they're pretty, so they take all the attention. Yes. Oh my gosh. So these ladies are doing really good. They're chowing down on their lunch right now. We can see it snowing and we can hear the wind. It sounds like it's bitter cold. How do the girls do in cold weather like this? Do they seem to mind it, or what's it like for a cow? Do they like cold? Do they like hot? What's it like?
Cows prefer the colder weather. Cows have a really, really hard time when it gets hot out. And cows can actually start to feel heat stress or get sick from warm temperatures at about 60 degrees. So for us as humans, that feels pretty nice, but 60 degrees for a cow is hot. So when it gets cold out, they kind of like that better, but we give them lots of straw when it gets cold out to keep them warm. The straw around the cow will actually warm her air temperature around her by about 10 degrees. So can keep her nice and warm when it gets cold. And then of course they all cuddle with each other when it gets cold as well. And they'll eat a bit more, but definitely they like the cold weather more than the hot weather.
Yeah, they definitely don't seem phased at all right now. They are just loving
like
life. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. So we have had a lot of really great questions coming in, Farmer Paige. So if you're ready, I'm going to try and get through a couple of these for everybody that have joined us today. We've got a bunch of classes that are with us. So our first one, Tracy was just wondering, how many cows do you actually have on the farm? So maybe cows, dry cows, calves, heifers, the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, so between our milking cows and then our younger calves, all the baby ones, we probably have about 400 animals.
Wow.
Yeah, usually, so we milk 200. So usually then you have double the livestock. So we have about 200 of the young animals.
Wow, that's a lot of animals to take care of, Farmer Paige, but I'm sure you're up for the challenge. You seem to do a pretty darn good job with these ladies. We just had a comment from Annie. She said she has family in Belgrade who rave about Redhead Creamery. So you have some fans who love the milk and cheese that these ladies are producing, which is awesome. All right. So Megan, just letting you know that we did talk about how tall they were. So I think Farmer Paige had said about 5.5 feet tall. Is that what you had said? Is that correct?
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. Okay. And they're eating, Tracy, we covered that, but they're eating a TMR, or a total mixed ration, which any chance we could get maybe a little close up or a handful of the feed just so we can see what's all in there. And looks like some hay and grain.
There's some hay and yeah, you can see the hay, those longer pieces, and the corn. There's little corn stalks like that is in there. And then there's little crumbs that are hard to see, but that's like protein and mineral mix and all kinds of good stuff for them. We have a nutritionist that comes to the farm. He comes every other week and he takes a sample of all of our feed. And then he also actually looks at all the girls to make sure that they're in the good body condition and that they're not too fat or not too skinny. And then the next day he emails us and he tells us exactly what we should be feeding them. So they say that every single bite that they're taking is perfectly balanced and has all the nutrients that she needs in it.
Goodness, I wish I had my own nutritionist to tell me exactly what to eat to stay skinny and fit. And wow, that is pretty impressive. So these girls are, kind of like supermodels. I mean, they get the best quality feed that's perfect for them, which is awesome.
Yes.
Very cool. We had a couple of folks just wondering, you had mentioned that one of the calves will be at the fair. They were wondering which fair that they're going to be at.
she'll be at the Stearns County Fair, and then hopefully she'll win a trip to the Minnesota State Fair.
Ooh, that would be exciting. Very cool. So she's definitely she's a prized possession on your farm. She's a pretty one.
Yes.
Very cool. All right, let's see. So we've kind of talked about bad weather in general, but someone was just wondering, what happens if you've got something like really severe, like a tornado or something? Do do they just kind of hunker down, or do you do something differently as a farmer to take care of them?
They kind of take care of themselves. If it's raining or if it gets really windy or storming, they'll all kind of go into the back of the barn and hang out until it's over. A lot of times, though, if it's raining or storming and you look out the window, they don't really seem to mind. A lot of them still come out and eat and hang out, but they do a pretty good job of taking care of themselves during situations like that.
That's pretty cool. They're pretty self-sufficient then. We had a cute question. This is from Laura. They're wondering if you can feed cows Skittles.
You actually can feed them Skittles. You can feed them M&Ms and Skittles and all kinds of things. For us, that's not really good stuff to eat all the time. So I hope you're brushing your teeth. But cows digest sugar a lot differently than we do as humans. So it helps them produce high quality milk if they eat more sugary things like Skittles and M&Ms. One year during Halloween, I had a bunch of Starbursts and I tried feeding them Starbursts, but they didn't like it. And then the next day we came and there was like little pieces of Starburst on the ground.
Oh my goodness. And I think to add to that, I know here in Pennsylvania, that's where I'm at, we have Hershey here. And there's actually a couple of farms around here who will get like the byproducts and like the leftovers from the Hershey chocolate, and they mix the chocolate in the feed, which is pretty cool. Do you guys have any like byproducts like that you add to your feed at all from places around you?
Yeah, so we were feeding for a while. We were feeding sugar beet, leftover sugar beet pulp from that. And then in Minnesota, also lots of farms will feed distillers grain. So that's the byproduct from making ethanol. Here in West Central Minnesota, we have a lot of ethanol. And then unique to our farm, we actually feed our milking cows, get fed whey. So whey is a liquid byproduct of cheese making. We all know little Miss Muffet. She had her curds and her whey. So we use the curds to make the cheese, and then the whey still has a lot of good protein in it. Those whey protein drinks are super popular right now. So we actually collect our whey and we feed it back to our milking cows. And that saves us about 5 cents per day per cow. So it adds up very quickly.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. And the cows are, because they have 4 compartments in their stomach, they're able to digest all these crazy things that we can't as humans, which is incredible. They're great recyclers. That's for sure. Yeah. Awesome. We have some more questions coming in. So Courtney was wondering, how much does allspice make in milk a day? So, I mean, it could be for any cow. What's the average amount of milk production per day and maybe even per year?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So our cows get tested once a month on how much milk they produce. And last month, our cows averaged about 85 pounds of milk per day. A gallon of milk weighs anywhere between 8 and 10 pounds. So our girls are milking about 9 gallons of milk every single day. Our highest producing cows are milking about 150 pounds of milk a day. So imagine she's milking like 15 gallons of milk a day. And Allspice is one of our best cows. She just tested and she was milking like 120 pounds of milk every single day. So
wow, that is incredible. And that's really just, all good genetics, right? It's not like that's just very natural for them. And she just happens to be a very high producing cow, which is really cool. Very cool. Producing lots of milk for you guys to make plenty of cheese so we can enjoy that Redhead Creamery cheese. We had another question from Maria. They were asking, what is the oldest cow that you have?
That is another really good question. I believe our oldest cow, her name is Clover. She's actually my favorite cow that we have. And I believe that Clover is 11 years old now. Most cows live to be about 5 to 6 years old here, but Clover is she's doing really well, and she is 11 years old now.
Wow, that's incredible. Oh, 11 years old. And I've heard from a couple other people, from a couple other farmers, that 1 cow year is about equivalent to 10 human years. So 11 years old, she's like 110 years old, or 110 years old. That's you tell me how many people you know that lives to 110. So she's a good working cow. That's awesome. Wow, you guys are doing really great with questions. So many questions are coming in. Tracy is asking, how long do cows sleep for?
That is a really, really good question. So cows, I like to say the rule of eighths. So for 8 hours a day, we want our cows to be eating. For 8 hours a day, we want them to kind of be laying down, and sleeping would be in there. They don't sleep the whole 8 hours, but in there, probably about 4 hours at least. And then the other 8 hours, we want them to be what's called ruminating, or chewing their cud. So if you ever see a cow that looks like she's chewing her gum, she's chewing her cud. And we kind of talked about how cows have 4 stomachs. Well, cows kind of spit up their feed and then they re-chew it. And that means if she's doing that, that means she's a healthy, happy cow. And so we want them to be doing that for 8 hours. So the rule of eighths: hanging out, sleeping for 8 hours, chewing their cud for 8 hours, and eating for another 8 hours.
I like it. That's nice and easy to remember. Thank you, Farmer Paige. They sound like they have a pretty easy life, I must say. I could be okay with living a life of a cow. That sounds pretty easy to me. Oh my. All right. So let's see. Another great question. When do cows start producing milk? And then so how many years would they end up producing milk then? If you said the average age is like 6 years old on your farm, how many years does that mean they're producing milk for?
Yeah, so our goal is to have them to start producing milk when they're 2 years old. And so then they'll make milk for about 4 to 5 years on average.
Okay. Very cool. So, if they're making, I don't know, the average of a cow producing maybe 35,000 pounds, 40,000 pounds of milk, that's a lot of milk in her lifetime. That's incredible. This is an interesting question, Mary. We mentioned that they have 4 compartments in their stomach, but she's asking why. So I don't know that we really can answer why, but we can explain what 4 stomachs means. It means they're a ruminant, but do you want to talk any more about that, Farmer Paige?
Yeah, so cows, like she said, are ruminants, which make them really special and important for us as human beings. We talked about all the things that we can eat that cows eat for us. And so a ruminant, first thing she does is, you can see, so when they eat, she's kind of just taking a big bite of food, and she's not really chewing it. She'll chew it a couple times, and then she just swallows it right away. And then that goes into her first stomach. That first stomach is called the rumen. And on a full-grown dairy cow, the rumen can hold 50 gallons of feed. So that's why these cows have such big bodies, because of their rumen.
Yeah.
And the rumen is basically like a giant fermentation vat. So they have all kinds of good bacteria in their stomachs that will digest all that feed, turn it into energy. And then we talked about chewing their cud. So after it's in the rumen, they spit it back up and they re-chew it, and then they swallow it, and it goes into the second stomach. That second stomach is going to catch any long particles that may not have gotten digested or anything like that. And then it goes into a third one. The third one absorbs all the water from the feed. And then the fourth stomach kind of acts just like ours, digests anything else, absorbs nutrients and things like that. And then that's it.
Very cool. And then out it comes, either out the back end or out the udder. So it's kind of just two different ways of processing it, and that's how they produce their milk and stay nice and strong and healthy. Awesome. Let's see. We have, oh my goodness, so many questions that we're going to try and jam in here, a couple of them here in like 3 or 4 minutes. So let's see. We had a good question come in. They were wondering, how do you move cows? You know, they're 2,000-pound animals. How do you get them to move and do the things that you want them to do?
It's very difficult. Get a stubborn one, but some of them are halter trained. So like you can see these guys have a halter on. And so we can actually just walk them around like dogs. And then some of them aren't like that. So we actually have a trailer that we can put them on, and then that attaches to the truck. So then we can move them around like that as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, trailers. That sounds like it makes sense to be able to move these ladies around. We have some 1st and 4th grade classes that are together, and there's a bunch of questions that they're submitting, but I'm going to try and get to a couple of them. One was, how do you care for them when they are sick? And, you know, maybe how do you know when they're sick?
Yeah, that's a good question. So cows, kind of like humans, they're not feeling well. They're probably not going to eat very much. And so the older cows actually have a tag in their ear that sends to the computer and gives us information on how much she's eating. So if she's not eating, then I'm probably going to think she's not feeling very well. So I'll go look at her. We also can check their temperatures just like in humans. But the big thing is seeing how much they're eating. So the older cows have those tags in their ears on our farm that will tell us how much they're eating. And then the younger cows also, we just watch how much they're eating. Some of them, if they're not feeling well, will not want to drink their milk. And so then I know that she might not be feeling well. So I'll check her temperature. And just like humans, they have a doctor, our veterinarian. And so if she's not feeling good and I don't know what's wrong with her, I'll call our vet, and then she'll come out and look at her and then might give her some medicine to help make her feel better.
Awesome. Sounds like you've got a pretty down pat way of making sure that these ladies stay happy and healthy, and knowing and being able to read them, because, you know, they can't talk to you. So just understanding, you know, droopy ears or just not eating as much and picking up on those little things to take care of them. Awesome. I love this question, so I feel like we got to throw it in here. Lindsay was asking, do cows have to brush their teeth?
Cows do not have to brush their teeth, but fun fact, cows only have one set of teeth. So cows actually don't have teeth on top. They only have teeth on the bottom because they don't eat meat. They only eat plant material. So that top where their teeth are on top is just kind of like a hard, they call it a dental pad. It's just a harder piece of her gum.
Interesting. Thank you. And we had a question. Oh, so we talked about their feed, but they were wondering where it came from. Do you raise your own feed on the farm, or do you guys buy it in?
Yeah, so we raise all of our own feed here on the farm, 200 acres, and we can grow all of it. We grow corn for corn silage, and then we also grow alfalfa hay for them.
Very cool. And we have some folks who are just hoping that each one could get a little love. If they let you, any chance you could give them a little scratch on the head, each one of them, and just remind us. They're like, I'm trying to eat. Don't. There we go. Oh, they love that love. Thank you, Farmer Paige. We had some folks that said they would like to give them a scratch, but they can't quite reach, so they're hoping you could do it. So Farmer Paige, we have had so many great questions coming in. We want to go ahead and wrap it up here to keep ourselves close to that half hour. And I know we've got some folks who are either leaving school or heading to lunch. But so I know we had a lot of questions that we weren't able to get to, but we, feel free to either reach out to us. We'll try to answer them individually, or we can maybe copy and paste a bunch of these. And Farmer Paige, if maybe you don't mind typing in some answers, we could send out the answers to everybody, because we had a lot of really good questions coming in. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. It's been a lot of fun. But to wrap up here, Farmer Paige, I have one last question for you, and it's really, what is your why? Why have you chosen to be a dairy farmer? You work really hard. You're standing out in the cold and doing this for us. So why have you chosen to make this your career?
Well, it started out, I love cows. I love animals. I like to take care of things. And I just fell in love with the dairy cow in college. But it's led me to wanting to help people. And how can I help people? Well, I can help provide food for the world. So I get to take care of these awesome animals every single day who are really important for us as human beings, and just help create high quality, nutritious food that hopefully everyone is enjoying.
Yeah. I love it. And we are so thankful that you have chosen this as your career, and let us get to enjoy these girls all year long. I know I enjoy eating my ice cream and my cheese and my yogurt, and that wouldn't be possible without awesome farmers like you and our camera girl Carly, who's in the background, who actually gets to help make the cheese. So that's pretty cool. Some folks were actually asking about the cheese process, which we didn't have time to get to. So Farmer Carly or cheesemaker Carly, you might have to give us a little bit of answer there in some typed up stuff that we could send out to them. I think they'd love to know. But awesome. Thank you. But you guys have been wonderful today. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for letting us adopt these girls, for welcoming us to your farm today. We've got a lot of love coming in on this chat right now, everyone's saying thank you. So you guys will have to come check out the chat when this is all over and see all the love, because everyone's really enjoyed this. So thank you so much. Farmer Paige, any last minute words before we tune off today?
No, I hope you're all staying warm, and I hope that it gets warm wherever you guys are soon.
Me too. Absolutely. All right, Farmer Paige, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for joining the program this year. We had a lot of fun, and we hope to see you join next year. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.